Good evening, everyone. My name is Valeria, and tonight I want to show you a typical Italian recipe. It's a focaccia, but the thing is we have different focaccia type in Italy. This in particular is from the south, from a town called Bari in Puglia, is a region of the south. Then let's start with the ingredient that we need. We need some flours, 300 grams, some semolina, 200, some yeast, dried yeast, 6 grams, and then of course some salt, olive oil, oregano, and potato. A not too big one, a medium sized potato that has to be boiled before, and then just like mash it with, even with the, just simply with a fork. It's easy. And some water, some warm water, not too hot, 350 milliliter. Then let's start to put some flour, some semolina, our yeast, and I start to mix it just a little bit. Now we put the secret ingredient, is what makes the focaccia nice and soft. And with that, we start to add some water, little by little. A little bit of water. It takes a bit of patience and time. Not always will come the same way, but we will try our best. Then meantime, we add a little bit of salt as well, and olive oil. Olive oil, usually I will say we're gonna use 3 or 4 tablespoons, but you need to go by eyes and see how the dough comes together. Then a bit of more water. It's a very simple recipe, but it takes a bit of time and patience, but it's the super easiest recipe. And as I said, it's typical from the south. Usually you bring it with you at the park, you know, to give it as a snack, or even we usually bring with us at the beach and just eat it as it is, fresh from the bakery. Also, the secret of the dough is the fact that we don't need to overwork it with our hands afterwards when it comes all together. It needs to be like sort of sticky all together. That's why also we add the water bit by bit, because when the the sticky, let's say, consistent is done, we don't need it extra. You can use like a spatula or even like a wooden spoon. I prefer this spatula because it's easy to bring everything together. Salt here. As you can see, start to come together. That's the consistency that we want. Needs to be pretty sticky, not dry. Add just another touch of water, and that's all. Okay, now that we get this type of consistency, we just work a little bit, not too much. Then put a bit of flour in your surface. And on your hands as well. Then just put your dough here on the top. Fold it the other way. And then here is the moment where we need to don't overwork it. Then what I do is take another bit of flour just on my hands. And then I fold one side, the other side, turn around, and I fold again one side and the other side. Now I try to create a sort of like bowl. And next step, sorry, my hands. What I do, I take a bowl, a plate, whatever we have. I put a tiny bit of olive oil on the bottom because the other secret is the olive oil. That's what we want. We put it inside some cleaning wrap. And it needs to rest for at least 1 hour. Of course, more it will rest, the dough more it will rise. Then let's say we put it on the side and let it rest for 1 hour. Now I already prepared a dough for us to show how it should look like. Sorry, I washed my hands quickly. And here what it will look like. This one I did like an hour and a half ago. Then it's pretty good. And still, it needs to look very sticky. Then I take one of these and I put some olive oil on the bottom. I take my dough, very sticky, and just need to try to be careful to don't, work too much with it. And just put in the center of it. And let it rest again for another, let's say, 30 minutes. You can wrap it, or you can put like a little cloth and just leave it somewhere where there's not much light. And sorry, I'm just wash my hands again. What I put here now is we should start to prepare our condiment that goes on top, which are cherry tomato. You can just put cherry tomato, but it's nice with cherry tomato and some black olives. Then I will show you on this one already because we have no time to let it rest. But what you do after 30 minutes, you put your dough around and use your finger like this. you need to create a sort of little holes with that, and needs to be like gently touched. Then after, as I said, those 30 minutes, we put our condiment on it. Tomato, some olive, and we'll sprinkle on top more olive oil, and then the oregano as well. As you can see, is a pretty cheap recipe, I will say. Then doesn't require a lot of product, but it's really yummy. Let's say enough like that. Then you take your oregano. You just sprinkle it up. Oh, the olive oil, I forgot, sorry. Doesn't need to be overflow of olive oil, but needs to be enough to make it like sort of spongy in the middle. That's what we want. Then after this, you can decide to let it rest another 30 minutes. Some people, they just bake it as it is, but I like to let it rest again. More it rests, better it will be. And then meanwhile, you prepare your oven. You just put over it your oven, 200 degrees, and I will say to put it for 15 to 20 minutes. After that, when he's pretty high, then you put on a grill for other 5 to 10 minutes to make it like sort of crunchy on top. Then let's say we put our focaccia in the oven. And then the result will be something like this one, which is nice and crunchy and is like not like kind of high, and you can see is a bit spongy. That's what the olive oil does. Then let's try to cut it. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that's what we want. A sort of spongy finish. And you can eat it basically warm or room temperature, not cold. And what we do as well sometimes is, for example, let's say you go at the beach or at the park, you don't want to bring the usual sandwich, you just like cut it, slice it, and then you can put in the middle some antipasto, let's say, zucchini, capsicum, eggplant. I didn't cut it properly. But let's say it's like that. Say I want some. You can even put some hummus if you like. Or even some dried tomatoes if you have. And that's it. That's our focaccia from the south, from Bari. Do you guys have any question, or do you want to know something more about the ingredient? Let me know. Then we can see if I have the answer for all your questions.
It looks very tasty.
Yeah, I can't wait to eat it tonight.
What kind of a flour did you put in?
The 00 type of flour.
Oh, what is soft wheat?
Yes, needs to be like this 00. And mix with, like as I said, semolina. Semolina needs to be always less quantity the flour.
Okay, and yeast, is it?
Yes.
You have
Dry. I use the dry yeast, 6 grams.
Yeah.
But you can even use the fresh yeast if you like. Yeah. Usually in Italy we use the fresh one, but with the dry it works pretty much the same.
Very thick. It looks good.
Yeah, it does. It's not. Let's say it's a bit tricky with the dough because as I said, the first few times that I did myself, I overworked it, and then it became like a bit like thin. But what we want is like thicker and soft inside, and the softness comes from the potato that we put in and the olive oil.
You didn't put a lot of oregano.
Oregano is just on top, just to sprinkle on top. You can put as much as you want. Some people don't really like too much. Some people they like more. Then it's just to sprinkle on the top the oregano, just to get that flavor, to mix it up with the cherry tomato and the olives.
Yeah, I like oregano.
Yeah, I like it too.
That's good.
Valeria, can you use fresh oregano or it doesn't work so well?
I think the dried is better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually never used the fresh one. But I think the dry gives a bit more flavor because it's dried already. And then when you bake it, the flavor comes out a bit more. Then that's why I think we always use the dry one. But you can give it a try.
Have you ever put any other toppings on your focaccia?
Some people put onion. Some people put potato on top. It always
too much.
Really? Potato?
Yeah. Some people do.
It has potato, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Mashed potato.
Yes, but you just sort of cut it, you bake it and like just thin slice on the top. But it depends on the taste. Like, and as I said, like this is typical dishes in the town that my family comes from. But I know some other people have different tastes and they like onion, or they like, instead of put like, I don't know, olive, like the olive, they put a potato. But it's up to you. I prefer it actually really simple as it is, because I like to put inside maybe like some vegetables or whatever I have in the fridge, or even just some salad and hummus if you have
like some basil or some spinach leaves. Or...
Yeah, that works perfectly. Nice and crunchy in the middle and around.
Nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
I can smell it from here. It looks delicious.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you, guys. And do we have any more questions?
No, we just would like to taste it, that's all.
While she was just folding the dough, when she was just making it fresh, I could actually smell it, and it smelled so good. Okay, then. Well, this was the recipe for today. So we're just going to have to end it now. And thank you, Valeria.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valeria.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah.
Very quick, very simple.
Yes, it takes time to, let it rest.
Oh,
But
yes, I know.
all the rest is, as I said, pretty simple and is like very easy to make. Then all the rest is just waiting time, patience.
I know. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.
Until next time.